Three really simple driver cheats that you need to be using to make sure you get the most out of a club that is difficult. I'm still shocked golfers aren't doing these ideas. They're simple. We should all be doing them. The best players in the world are doing them, so why aren't you? Number one, I'm going to use my tee height to my advantage. I've got the ball, in effect, in hand, so I can do what I need to do. It's not like once I've hit it and then it's on the floor, it could be in a divot, in a depression, set up, in the rough, in the trees, out of play. I'm going to make the most of this situation to try and capitalize at every stage of this difficult game. So I've got my standard height, which is ball kind of just popping out over the top, almost half the ball over the top of the crown here. Then I've got my lower tee height. The reason I might tee this ball up lower is because it'll promote a different shot, a different shape for me. It'll tend to fly a little bit low. It'll tend to start left and cut back. It will promote a shape of shot that on some situations I might want a game. My standard tee height is where I hit the numbers I know I deliver most consistent, and that's what I'll play most of the time, but the lower tee is going to feel safer. It might even make my drive go a little bit shorter, you know, when there's a cross hazard that I don't want to reach, but I don't want to hit my free wood, which might feel like it'll drop way back. And then the last one, the high tee. So I've got three standard tee heights. The high one, if I'm going to hit this ball hard, the reason I'm going to tee it high is when I'm trying to hit the ball harder, so there's room, I want to send it, I tend to push up through my lead leg a lot more. Pushing up through my lead leg makes my angle of attack come up. If I don't tee it up higher, then I just catch it out at the bottom. So I push that tee up a little higher to try and get my strike working for me. Good players have a functional tee height that they'll use most of the times, but they have variations on that theme because situations require more robust thinking, feels and control. You can do that. Doesn't matter what handicap you are. If I put you on a lower tee or higher tee, you'll have different patterns of shots. Those patterns, if you learn them, can help you lower your scores. Number two, ball position. Where you position the ball in relationship to your feet or in relationship to your body is often a safer spot. But let's go with feet because lots of people like to relate it to their feet. I will move my ball position subject to what shot I want to hit. So I'm going to have a standard ball position. For me, my standard ball position, the camera might not be on the exact angle, but where I want to hit this ball, basically it's just inside my heel. That's a common problem when people record themselves. It's so hard to get the sensor exactly at a right angle to your aim. So subject to what you're seeing on that camera, it might look here. It's actually here with a right angle to where I want to hit the ball. Now if I push the ball back from there, my path tends to move a bit more to the right, but it's harder for me to control the face. So I might block or curve to the left. If I push it forward, this is the most common one, pushing it forward for lots of golfers. For me, this makes me hit more on the way up, but believe it or not, pushing it outside and on this lead heel for lots of golfers, this encourages, and this is gonna blow your mind, it encourages you to hit down a bit more. Yes, the further forward for the average golfer, now someone watching might not be the average golfer, so it doesn't do it for them, but for many people that I teach, ball too far forward, hands back, this encourages path to be going down and to the left when they hit the ball because they try and reach it with their body, creating these kind of flat shoulder turns. For lots of golfers, making sure the loft on your driver is appropriate to the speeds that you apply, then allowing you to get a good ball position that will allow you to control the path, which in turn might give you some face control, is crucial. Key one for lots of golfers, way too far forward. Simplest drill, you've heard this a million times, but just use it. Not enough golfers use it. Standing opposite the ball, my ball position at the moment is in between my 2 feet. I'm going to move this one an inch or so, take my width for start to this one. My ball position set, it's in my pre-shot routine. Now I've got the confidence to stand here and know I've done the basic setup somewhere that allow me to hit a nice drive like that. Now let's get you turning your body away from the target with good tilts. One of driver's biggest mistakes is it's long, it's hard to hit. Golfers just pick the club up and kind of sway over to the right and then try and turn and hit it from there, which is why we see down and to the left. I want you to try and feel that you get your back turning to the target more. It's a feeling, you won't exactly be there, but feel like your back is turning to the target, while at the same time your lead shoulder goes down, trail shoulder goes up. I see far too many turning back to targets level shoulder turns, creates these kind of stood up over to the right positions. And I also see plenty of really weak shoulder turns, so not really rotating much, not tilting much, and just standing up over to the right. So the hit is basically more of this kind of energy. Imagine I had a sledgehammer in my hand, something really heavy. It's almost like they're doing that. They're kind of to hit the ball. And we need to get rid of those ideas. We need to feel that the club goes up because this shoulder goes down. So as this shoulder goes down, you push the club up. Well, at the same time, let's feel as this goes down that we get our backs feeling like they're pointing at the camera here more towards the target. What this is going to do is allow me to start setting the club behind me up in the air rather than kind of out in front of me to the side, which is definitely good for encouraging the steepening and down to the left swings. If you start putting these three elements together, they're so simple. It doesn't matter what standard you're at. Let's get tee height functional within a few ranges of tee height. Let's get ball position in the right place. Good turns and tilts with a little bit of speed. Oh, boom. Yes, please. Now, if you want to see why your driver loft is killing your tee shots, this is so common. Watch this to see what pros are doing and what AMs aren't doing. It'll blow your mind.